vastly different when they're in this environment. And for Nexus, I'm just wondering how the overall team looks. Yesterday, it felt like there were some issues of just getting into the environment and being able to adapt to playing from the studio with everyone next to you as quickly as you necessarily need. If they've now ironed out those issues, you've already played 2 games, right? It's not as if it's kind of dawning on you. You know where you are. You've had the time to prepare. Whole lot that could go either way on this one. We'll start at the beginning though, as we are here on Mirage. Guild, of course, are on the T side, Nexus on your CT side. Start for the first map in an elimination best of 3. Lose this and your run towards the major, it's over.
Yeah, no last chance qualifiers, none of that. You are done and you are dusted out. Sound, in the meanwhile, one of the players that we definitely had expectations of is going to be first to be called into action with those Julies. But it's only the 1 kill. In the meanwhile, though, Zello is stuck at the back of the site as his teammate is nailed in the form of Raga. Zello gets 1 traded from rigoN. And a 3-on-2 has befallen the server. ERSIN caught between 2 players very awkwardly. And although BTN may get the drop here, Jackie, I think it stands to reason they're going to be checking the apps anyway. And I don't fancy his chances. He's not one of the heavy hitters in terms of fragging distribution on this team. He's been caught, he's been sideswiped. Great flick though from BTN. Puts it into a 1-on-2. He's down to 18 HP though, and with no kit and nades, it's going to be a done deal. Whether it's now or in a few moments, he is a dead man.
Ticks on by. Wins his first clash on the back of the peak. Seneri taking a face from the bumper, of course, so you can jump up and take a little fight into the apartments. But no joy, the round itself, that was pretty firmly planted in the Guild Eagles camp. So they spread their wings into the pistol round, at least secure this. Obviously, it's always a good start. Get the pistol under your belt, mate. It just makes it a whole lot easier to warm up into the series and start things off. Curious about the body language as well. It's one of those where if they're winning those rounds, you start to see really the amps flying, right? Everyone gets a lot more hype, the energy's there, and that also affects their style of play. It feels like when confidence is at an all-time high for this team, that's when they're going for those audacious peaks, and 9 times out of 10, they do pay off.
Yeah, the momentum on this this team definitely drives them forward. I will say for Nexus, obviously we got a chance to cast them yesterday on Ancient, and the one player that I would say was a little bit of a disappointment I was expecting more of coming into it was Zello. He's typically going to be donning their AWP. He's more of the sniper in this outfit. And he had a very absent game on Ancient. It was really only Sound that was showing up and delivering any kind of inspirational moments. The entry fragging up on ramp, for example, was really solid. So I'm thinking if Nexus want to have a chance in this game, one of their main win conditions, their keys to success, needs to be Zello showing up and showing up early on this CT side. Because we know he's capable. In the open and close qualifiers, man, he was the guy that we were constantly looking at thinking, geez, this dude's a real deal. Like, he's a powerhouse player. We have not seen it so far at this tournament.
No, and you are right. He was kind of the big dog, right? Won them so many important rounds. You think about the fact that they had a hard run as well, because it's all the way from the start of the cycle, we saw them grind their way through the open qualifiers, right? Arduous games there as well, because you're waking up so early, you're playing countless amounts of matchups, and you can't afford to drop the ball a single time. Then through close, they weather the storm and make it in. Oh man, all right. Sound is at least being able to show up in terms of the eyebrows today. Big fan of The Rock, potentially.
Hey, he's on Romanian soil, hoping to be the people's champion, perhaps, come the end of this game. Meanwhile, a very different look on the side of the Guild Eagles. Tech issue, of course, so hopefully that's going to be remedied shortly. Especially when you look at the map pool as well, man. Like, obviously, Mirage up first, then we have Vertigo, and then Ancient. These are 3 maps where you need your AWPer to be teeing off. Especially Mirage, I think, out of those 3. Ancient can have a lot of impact, Vertigo less so. You can get away with running with AKs on the T side, etc. But this Mirage, this is why I'm saying I really want to see what Zello can bring to the table as soon as the CT economy affords it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a map pool that bodes well. That if he can have a good day of it coming into things today, it could definitely change their fate an awful lot. Obviously, both teams really favouring their run Oh, do you like the drip as well for rigoN there? Man's got the chain ready. He's living that lifestyle, Vince. Absolute bad man.
I think is it an AK with a foregrip or something? What's the weapon he's got there on his chain?
Looks like some sort of maybe an L85 or something of that nature. Some sort of rifle. You would have thought he would have gone for like the Deagle, really.
Yeah.
He's always been a beast with the Deagle. That would have been sick.
True. Maybe at some point we can ask him the story behind that chain and the weapon in particular. Maybe it has some kind of value to him individually. Yeah, this is one of those matchups, man, where you're 0-2 in the RMRs. Nexus have never been in this position before. This is their first time at an RMR, obviously. A lot of hype, a lot of excitement, energy flowing through. Hasn't worked out the way they were hoping for. Guild Eagles eyeing up a 4th major. I think it's safe to say that every single RMR they've came to, in all honesty, they've probably been one of the underdogs. They've always proved people wrong.
Oh my.
That's freaking me out that his little finger's bending that way.
The magic trick there from Sound.
He's got the moves.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool, actually. I'll give him that, dude. He's been whipping out all the little moves on the server, playing up to the camera. Obviously, not much else you can do, right, during a technical pause. Can't really banter back and forth between each other. You've got to sit there, wait for things to be resolved and get back in. That's one way to kind of take any potential pressure off.
Yeah, I think it maybe I'm looking too much into this, but it maybe indicates as well that there is less pressure on this Nexus team. They're smiling, they're laughing, they're messing around, keeping themselves busy, just sort of, you know, having a good time. Whereas you look at Guild Eagles, they're all heads down, fully focused, hunched over their keyboard, you know, like really deep in thought, almost like internalizing all of this. Sometimes just allowing that energy to flow through you and just exit you is the best course of action. Absolutely.
No, I agree with you, man. I do think it is absolutely one of those where, although, you know, he's kind of rough in terms of... Oh, hang on, is he teaching him how to do it? Oh, that's so good.
He's cracking up BTN.
Oh, mate. They get back in for the next round, hands are off the keyboard. No, right, so what I was explaining is you have to bend this finger this way, and then you put the hand down, so when it comes up, it looks like a mask. Oh, man. But yeah, no, it definitely is one of those where I think that is kind of the story behind that, really, because obviously you've made it this far. Every opportunity that you've come up against where they had some close runnings as well. You know, you think about some of the games that even we saw, they had some tight runs to keep taking wins, keep shutting down the next opposition to make it to this point. And they're not easy games as well. The games you've been given coming into this, what, you play Astralis first round, right? And that's on Ancient. You're trying to make some moves there. You've got to just beat every team that's put in front of you. And now at this position, you just keep taking names, keep taking victories. Well, that's really the overall timeline for both of these two teams. If you want to find a way to actually still make it to the major, mate, you've got to win every single game that's in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely the nature of the beast. And I think we have Zello as pieced out there. I don't see him sat down, so I'm not sure what the a bathroom break or something. Hopefully he's fine. Guess we'll find out soon enough. But yeah, I think it is one of those situations where if you're on the Nexus team, yes, you want to make sure you put your best foot forward. You want to give as good an account as possible in this game. You want to make sure that you come out of this feeling like you left everything on the server.
Yeah.
But 100%, man. I mean, they've already experienced something that none of these players have before in the past. They're already having a good time. They're on home soil. You know, there's going to be a lot of feel-good sort of factors about this as far as Nexus are concerned. Whereas for Guild Eagles, like, let's be honest here, if you 0-3 in this group now and you're knocked out, you're not going to go to the major, what happens next for this roster? Because you haven't been putting up stellar performances in LANs. You haven't really been capturing the CS2, you know, opening few months by storm. What happens for these guys at that point? Because this would be a failure, surely.
It's hard to gauge as well, right? Because it is kind of a very different team in the way that they always worked previously. It's the fact that you look at them more as a family rather than sort of a roster and the way they work. There was never that sort of debate of would they make roster moves, would they change any of the pieces? they always wanted to just be this squad, this five, and that was the dream for them to play together continuously and be able to write that storyline for themselves and self-funding that time and time again with those major appearances, and obviously kind of being the pride of a nation as well, right, for all of these players. The fact that you would get those stickers in the game each time, it would mean so much for the entire scene. That whole fan base behind them, time and time again. And the amount of upset runs that we saw as well. Like every time they would get FaZe in the draw, you'd be thinking, surely not again. But they would, they just would. And you've got a lot of backbone there, a lot of support, a lot of help. It's also like the tenure of having Devil Walk as your coach. That's another player that, sort of the coaching talent we have in CS right now. God, we're in such a good position, Vince. So many players that have achieved greatness time and time again that are giving that wealth of understanding of the game. It must do a lot for you, you know, having Devil Walk in that position to bounce the ideas around, kind of keep the morale up as well. But obviously, what a nice guy, just in terms of being able to keep the mentality high. If you need someone to kind of ground you in reality again, he's the perfect person for it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, we've worked with Devil Walk a lot in the past. Obviously, he's worked a lot on desks and been he was part of the Antwerp Major as well, obviously back in the other PGL Major beforehand, and he's just such a likable guy, but he's also so knowledgeable about the game. Like, he is nerdy in the best possible way when it comes to CS. Like, he is so interested in the very minimal sort of details, but he's also a very kind, like chill, jovial person to be around as well. You can see him being like quite stern and harsh if he needs to be, but for the most part very approachable. So I think it's one of those situations, yeah, we're blessed with coaches, and there's also a lot of players right now that are playing that are going to make fine coaches if they decide to after their playing career.
Oh, absolutely, man. The wealth of talent in CS is in a very great position. What we're going to do, though, is take a few seconds to resolve the technical issue here. We'll get things covered up behind the scenes, get it all sorted, and then set this best of 3 up for you guys. So take a couple seconds to grab yourself a drink, and we'll see you once everything is ready.
We are guessing the CS team by the emojis. Zello from Nexus is with me here, and we get to see what emojis might represent a team. It'll be a team or an organization, not a player.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Maybe.
Do you use a lot of emojis on your phone?
Not really.
Good luck then, my friend. We'll see how it goes. We'll start with a nice easy one though, and it's up first.
This should be Vitality.
Da-da-da, nice and easy. If you got that one wrong, we would have a very, very bad whole show. This would not work at all. So this was a good start.
Baby Goat. It's only teams, right?
It's only teams, yes. So the GOAT of CSGO does or did play for this roster.
Navi.
Ba-bam.
Let's go.
Next one.
Is this Astralis?
Oh, woo, okay.
Good at this.
I like this.
Virtus Pro?
Yes. I'm impressed, I'm impressed.
Bad News Eagles.
Yes, sir. Look, okay, this is gonna be the quickest one yet. Oh, damn.
Are they French?
They used to have French players in the past.
And the second one? Can I get a hint about it? Or?
It's a mask.
Okay. And they have it in the logo or
Their
something?
logo has a mask.
3D Max. No?
Nope. Very close. If it was just that emoji, you said 3D Max or a monster or something, you'd be right. Because the 3D Max logo is like a like evil monster thing, right? But this is a mask specifically. They won Cologne and Katowice in the same year.
Now I'm gonna look stupid. Cannot remember.
Last year.
Okay, G2.
Yeah, you got some help. You got some help from the sidelines.
Thank you.
By the way, if you did that quietly, I wouldn't have heard. But it was like he's making little.
Oh my god.
All right, next. So what do you see? An eagle? Then what?
The Statue of Liberty. America. Okay.
And then what do you see?
Splash, water, something.
So?
I have no clue.
I really thought you were going to have it there. I have no clue. Okay. So an America's team competing at the America's RMR. They have 2 Canadians playing for them.
I have so many teams in my head now.
2 Canadians playing for this team. Super famous. One of the Canadians came back to the other Canadian. He went...
Liquid.
Ta-da!
Okay. Whew. Superhero backstabbing or what? A siren or what?
So you said one word there, you said backstabbing. Who backstabbed someone?
Heroic.
Ba-bam! What's this looking like?
Angry Sun Football.
Correct. Very good at knowing what the emojis were. What does that mean? Think of the team this is all revolving around. Neymar for football? What
Furia.
team?
Furia, yeah.
Oh,
okay,
there
Furious,
we go.
okay.
So once I said Neymar, you were done.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You've done. Thank you very
That's
much for taking part. You did pretty damn good, man. Some of them you were really quick, so fast. Coming into the RMR with difficult circumstances is Monte, as always. LMBT, the coach. It's never easy for you, and that's what we've got to start with. We found out yesterday, at least on you had your announcement video, that SDY will not be playing here. So just explain to me exactly what's happened here, how he's feeling. Is there a chance he could be better?
Well, he might be playing here. It depends on how much days we're gonna play.
Okay.
Right? Let's start from that. He became very sick and he had like a very high fever. Health and doctors' responses, like if they're allowing him, he will play. If not, he will not.
Talk to me about Gizmi, a British player that comes from the Monte Academy team.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not going to be easy to be like a straight one-for-one role swap with him, right? But is there any similarities to how he played? Is there anything that kind of lines up for you and any positives here?
This player is like very talented. He's a player who is studying a lot of how opponent plays. He's preparing to matches himself very hard. It's not just some random player or whatever. He played a lot of online matches. He played last RMR. We're working together still, like everyone, because everyone has the same goal anyway.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay, so let's look at back when you had the full team. We were at Katowice recently. Certainly not the result or start to the year you guys wanted. It was also the first officials you played, but how disappointing was that result there for you guys?
Well, it wasn't disappointing, I would say, at all. That was expected result, because beforehand, all the teams played a lot of matches and they was warmed up to a season. We wasn't, and that was first time for these players exactly starting a season without those like tons of online tournaments played before. So we was cold. We lost the first game. We beat Cloud9 2-0. That's not bad, right? This tournament showed us the direction, and we had this week to actually fix all the things, and we knew like which problems we had. Unfortunately, yeah, we fixed those things, but unfortunately now we don't have a roster, so
we fixed it, and then we got another problem.
then we get another problem. But again, it's like how you look at this, you know.
Yeah.
Problem, solution. Problem, solution. That's it. That's how you take it.
And that's what you guys have to deal with from obviously majority of your players have to leave Ukraine each time, the lack of boot camp, the lack of practice. But what has this done to you mentally as the coach, where you're saying like, okay, our chances were here, now maybe our chances are here. How do you view it? Because looking at this group, it's harder anyway, right? This looks like the toughest group.
Yeah, of course, but you're not looking at it this way, as I explained already before, right? We don't know that our chances is here. Let's start from this. It's like we have 12 teams at least in a group who can qualify, maybe even more. A lot of even teams, a lot of teams who didn't play this year, a lot of matches still, or results was like not the level of a team, let's say. So everything can happen in this group, and I don't think that our chances dropped there.
Okay.
Our chances stayed exactly at the same level, because our expectations is, let's say, yes, we want to go through no matter what, right? Even if we are maybe not 100% ready, so it doesn't change. Only thing which changes is a player. When expectations are lowered, then it's much less pressure on you,
it sounds like a very well thought out and well-rounded decision. So what you said is interesting, right? No one will know how you're going to play. You don't know how you're going to play. Is there something where you look at how you might use Gizmi though, in terms of saying, all right, go off, just like let him do what he does best?
Yeah, of course. We will use him how he wants to be most like comfortable. That's how it is, and that's what we appreciate in the team in general. We're using their strengths and like lowering the weaknesses, because if you'll try to put the player exactly in these cages, it will be very bad.
Obviously, we've seen it many times.
Yeah, so we are not doing this. That's not our philosophy. You know, we are trying to like benefit the player's strengths. That's it.
We see that always. Well, good luck going forward. Thank you very much for your insight, and hopefully SDY comes back as well, fully strengthened up and not ill anymore.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's fantasy draft time for the PGL RMRs. I've got Cloud9's Perfecto with me, and he is going to spin the wheel and test his luck. How are you doing, my man?
Good.
Yeah?
let's try it.
Let's try. I believe you can do it. I believe in your smart brain picking out the right players for a team that qualify for the major. And the first team you get to look at, well, it's quite an easy one, I think, unless you surprise me.
Not for me, because like
Oh, whoa.
it's between Chopper and Dong. Okay, we take Dong because of hype, you know.
Yeah.
Let's say Dong.
I was about to say, anyone that gets Spirit, would you pick anyone other than Dong?
I mean, Chopper is a good choice because he's smart captain and
Yeah.
you can take it.
But I mean, you could have no IGL and just send Dong to kill everything.
Yeah,
right?
we can put IGL later, so it's okay.
Okay, we're
Dong.
starting with Dong.
Good one.
You think Dong's a pretty insane player right now, yeah?
Right now, yes.
Yeah, it's nuts. And you're, ooh, okay, you're getting a complexity player. Your face.
Okay. We take Floppy for ENCE role. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Floppy in next, I like this.
Yep.
Most people were picking a leash, but I can understand why you'd go for
No,
Floppy.
we have like Dong, he needs space.
Yeah, that's
so.
it. Floppy will be supportive for him,
Yeah, exactly.
help him.
Okay, the next.
Ooh, a Furia.
Furia.
You got potential for 2 captains on this team, right?
Yeah. Let's take Keiko, Kiserato.
Queserato. Oh, you're not going for an IG? Okay.
It's okay, we have AGL later.
Got 2 more chances if we get
Yeah,
IGL later.
yeah, I want the other AGL.
Another IGL. Okay. Let's go again. You got a very strong rifle
Yeah,
core though.
yeah.
This is really strong.
Now need good AGL.
You need a sniper and an IGL.
Zaiwu?
Ah, nice and easy.
Yeah, Zaiwu.
So Zaiwu and Donk on the same team. Queserato and Floppy. This is very dangerous.
Yes. Okay, give me a good AGL.
What is the IGL the Perfecto is gonna get? Oh, nearly ENCE. Nearly that you would have hit the absolute lottery.
Okay, who cooks on AGL, right?
Kixan, yes.
Okay, kicks.
Could I put another player there? No, Kixan. That's fine though. Kixan will have.
Maybe Zush can AGL as well.
If you're the manager.
Yeah, I know.
You can
yeah.
choose Shush if you
No,
want.
Kixan is good.
Okay, we'll do Kixan
Let's
in
try
there.
Kixan, yeah.
Poor Kixan, very young in
Do you
game
need
leader.
coach as well?
No, no coach. That's it. You're coach. You're general manager.
Exactly, nice.
You're the brains. That's it. Okay, question.
Yes.
If this team played in the RMR tomorrow with these 5 players, no practice, would they still qualify?
I don't know. Okay, he win first game, I'm pretty sure. But other, yeah, it's qualifier.
They can qualify,
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah,
They
yeah.
go to the major?
Of course, it's Zaiwu, Donk, amazing.
It's pretty damn stacked lineup.
Sure,
I like it. Good stuff, Perfecto. Thank you very much.
thank you.
It is time for another CS fantasy draft here at the PGL RMR. I've got Stare from Astralis with me. How you doing?
I'm all good. I'm all good.
You ready to make a dream team as such, man? Well, you get the choice from spinning the wheel. You down for this?
Yeah, I'm so ready. I'll for sure make the best team possible.
Oh, okay, let's see how it goes. Let's see what team you will get first to take your players from. And it will land on...
Okay.
Good start.
Yeah.
Now, as a general manager, do you pick yourself or one of your teammates?
No, I pick one of my teammates.
Okay.
I'm thinking who, because I would like to go with Device. But I'm thinking like, if I get like a guy like ZywOo right now, it would be good. Like there's a lot of good Orbers, you know?
Yeah, but you can make ZywOo rifle.
I can pick some of the best rifles right here, you know, as well.
Ah, okay.
And Orb, there's a lot of competition as well. So I'm taking Stown for this one.
Stown.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. And Stown, you're just keeping his normal roles and positions,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Play how he plays for you, it's no problem.
Yeah, that's the thing he's best at, right?
Yep.
I need that.
Make him do what he does best. And the next team you will get is Monte.
Okay. Then I would go for Krasnal.
Krasnal.
Yeah, that's actually a very underrated player, I would say.
Underrated player. Right. Well, so how will you use him?
I mean, he's just like in the positions he play. I just feel like he always like pretty consistent. And when I see him aiming, like also in just face it, like FPL, he's actually insanely good aimer.
Okay.
And I didn't know this myself even until lately.
Oh, nice. Well, there you go. Krasnal getting some high praise from you. I'm sure he will appreciate that. The third player on the third team we'll be looking at is Liquid.
Okay, interesting. So right now I have Stown and I have Krasnal, so I would go for like, I would take Twist for this one. Also, like everyone knows he's an insanely good player, right?
Yeah.
I feel like he's also a player that can play kind of every role I would say, like everyone on the map. That's a good player to have. So for sure, Twist.
The Twist to do whatever you need.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Still need an AWPer now.
Yeah, you do need an AWPer, I see. But
it's not good. It's not good.
Because you didn't want to take KD as IGL and AWPer, right? But you.
Okay. Yeah.
Ah, look at this. This is what you want.
Yeah, I think I'm good now. I think I made a good choice. I'll go for ZywOo instantly. I don't think I have to explain anything.
No, ZywOo is ZywOo. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, also good roll rise, right? When I need the AWP, that's good.
So now you just need to find an IGL.
Let's see what happens. It goes over, but I take it. I still take it. I still take it.
Very good.
Of course, Siri. Then I would say I made a pretty good team. I like my choices.
Yeah.
And it paid off not picking Device, I would say, in the first round.
Exactly, yeah, because you got ZywOo later on.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a gamble, I would say, but it paid out. It paid off. So I take my team with Siri here as the caller.
Now my question for you: we take this team, we put these 5 players together, no practice, we throw them into this RMR. Do they qualify?
Yes.
Yeah? You think you got good enough just individuals to do what they do best?
I mean, just ZywOo, then you're like almost...
just ZywOo, the vitality one.
And then with some good players around him as well, it's just, no practice needed. No worries, for sure.
Well, there we go. I like your stuff. Mr. GM here, building his ultimate fantasy team.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us. A bit of an extended timeout on that one to resolve a medical issue, making sure that players are happy and healthy before we resume the game here. But it seems like we've got everyone back in position, Vince.
Indeed, it wasn't a tech problem, as you said, a medical problem that needed to be resolved. Apparently it has been now, so nothing too serious to worry about. But yes, we're ready to jump back underway here, Jackie, in our first map of the elimination best of 3. Guild Eagles, of course, if you just joined us, did win the pistol. They do have themselves the 1-0 lead and a full assortment of weaponry to kick things off.
Okay, so back where we left things then, of course. As Vince touched on, if you missed the opening moments of the game, it was pretty cleanly cut. Wasn't too much to write home about in terms of the opening pistol. But the game now going live again with a whole bunch of Zeuses being brought out. So tasers on display. ERSIN and rigoN both having one. BTN trying to play on the back of the bumper for the peek up with the deagle. But the first deagle shot that lands, well, that's from the hands of Sound. He obviously is a big part of this Nexus roster and already showing up into this one at least. Zello as well. Okay, straight in with a wallbang. See you later, juanflatroo.
Great shot. Unfortunately, it may just be a drop in the bucket because the bulk of the Ts have already made a move across to the site and have smoked off the CTs here. It isn't a full investment from Nexus. They will have options available to them come the next round, so don't necessarily have to worry as much about saving. And Sound again with that deagle. Man, this deagle work has been stellar from Nexus.
Oh, yeah. They're making this round look like it's got a whole lot of stock to it. No right with the Deagle to cause so much carnage. But for Nexus, it bodes well. Sound had an awful lot of impact, and he's still continuing here. Forces it all the way down to a 1v1 and can clean house at least with the weapons for Guild. Strip them of absolutely anything. It's a 4K for him in a round with a free upgrade onto a Galil. Ooh, timing on a bomb blast though. Doesn't survive it. No chance for that one, of course. Can't get away. So low HP as he goes running out there, seeing if he could at least dip and clutch on to what he's got. But no chance for that. So Guild Eagles get 2 rounds, but don't carry any of the weapons over.
They were already eyeing up the buy coming into this one, and now it's looking that little bit sweeter, knowing that if they are successful, they'll break Guild Eagles early on. They have an AWP, which Zello is going to be using for himself, of course. Mentioned before about how we were looking to him to have more impact in this game. And early on here, Jackie, Guild Eagles just setting up for a meat and potatoes execute onto the A side.
Yeah, the old faithful, old reliable. ERSIN with the timing. You would have thought actually his days were numbered there. Plays anti-flash though, turns back around, even gets a dink onto juanflatroo. Ooh, wait a minute. Shenanigans to be had into this round, but Zello is spotted on short and slain. Actually, no, he's still standing. It was his teammate in Sound that's gone down, and that's Senary with very low HP on the move towards B.
Yeah, flashbang up and over. Is rotating all the way around, but as the observer is showing you, the bomb is down on ramp. So Senary is just trying to play more mind games than anything else, try and win the war of the psychological elements in this one. But Zello's traded up to a Galil. Senary already low. 1 bullet will finalize this round. And it's looking good for Nexus to early doors break back the T's into a awkward position. They won't have a great economy either, so I'm curious if we would just see a force buy-in for Guild Eagles, regardless of what happens here and now. Zello just making sure he's not about to get backstabbed, and this is what Senary was hoping for. If he takes enough time, he can maybe find that window of opportunity to get closer, and as long as he gets closer, then that's where the Galil headshot can come into play, and he connects with the AK-47 to put down Zello and take the round, and that's why he went all around the world. The timing of Zello checking behind him at T-spawn allowed him to get up close and have the off angle to strike.
Freak him out a bit. You play slow, play with the mind games, of course, on the rat back, so he's debating where on earth he is, and also if that bomb's even been picked up, if it's been taken, or what the situation is. So he re-peeks for the info. The instant snapshot. Whew. That's the bitter end on that one. Lost a little bit of HP, but wins the overall fight for what it is. 3 rounds on the board then for Guild. Back to Deagle's school here for Nexus.
Thing is, school is very much in session. When these Romanians have these Deags, 2 of them from ERSIN. Man, maybe just play with the Deagles from here on out, boys. Ragga's going to miss out on his chance, but the damage has already been wielded. And now things will start to get into a bit more sanity. ERSIN with 3 Deags in this round. Has the AWP also picked up additionally? But unfortunately, from his perspective, Senary already has the bomb and is charging to the B side. So some heroics, some beautiful moments with the Deagle, but I don't think it's going to yield the round.
Won't need to, though, if you can at least clutch onto the AWP and take that as a bit of a bonus gift into the next round. And with a lot of confidence, though. He's scared that school was in session and they were teaching Guild a lesson with those Deags. Really clean connections. That's going to warm you up a little bit. Get the blood pumping. Obviously, a couple of stops and starts in this one. ERSIN just hoping to guarantee the save. rigoN's back is turned. He tucks in. Bygones should be bygones. So we'll see this brought into the next round then. But Guild with a hot commodity of 4 rounds to start it off on their T-side debut into the Elim best of 3.
You know as well, Jackie, I think it's only fair from Zello's perspective to actually explain that he was the player that needed a bit of time away in case he does have a bit of a rough rough start to this game. Wasn't feeling well. That's why I had to step away for a while. And we do have medical staff here that checked him out, said that he was okay to continue. But I think it's only fair to mention that, because he is a player with the AWP. We've already discussed him at length, you know, coming into this game as having a bit of an off one on the first day.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out to see if he can perform now. Guild Eagles are 4-0 in the lead. Will be Nexus on the bye. Have 2 AWPs in play now, Jackie. 2's better than 1, apparently. It's a heavy investment, though. That's the downside of it. You do lose this round. You've got round loss bonus accruing, but it can quickly get into an awkward spot. Plus, they're not ideal for retaking sites should you lose one of them.
It's true. It is always the band-aid fix, though. If things start off a little bit slowly on your CT side, of course, you can don both of those AWPs and have a lot more control to play with on a map like Mirage. Station one of them towards middle. It's a big talking point. If you gain that T-side favor of winning the fights towards mid, you open up all the avenues of rotation and put the pressure on Nexus. Early fight towards the A side. Utility comes over the top. rigoN baited for the peak on short. Guild Eagles really starting to speed up the pace of the A site take now.
Oh, rigoN, that's a huge entry as well, but Zello with the 1 kill alongside BTN is keeping the T's honest, keeping them at bay as well. There's a lot of damage inflicted across to the CTs, and Zello is found and plucked out by juanflatroo. They've made moves onto the site. They are isolated, and BTN's found that window. He's moved onto the fire boxes. Sound misses out on a shot, though.
BTN with a repositioning. He's got the read on the round. Oh, he's putting pen to paper, Vince. Hits the head of Synopsy. And juanflatroo trapped in connector now. Baiting with the audio cue, expects the peak, spams onto the first near miss. The Bunderblast AWP being used by Sound, but it's the sidearm that gets it done. Wow, all right, Nexus then. Straight in. Like you said, though, a lot of money invested into that, of course, and everyone else on the team going down. So it is only the 1 weapon brought over, just 1 AWP. You can at least give that back to Zello. And man, he's hitting some blinding shots already.
He is, yep. Fair play to him. The thing is, though, even though it was a heavy investment, I think because of how close these previous rounds have been with the consistent Deagle headshots that we've seen from ERSIN getting a 3K and the rest of the troops kind of pulling their way, I'm pretty sure that Guild Eagles' economy is very rough, like $2,500 to $3,000 across the board. Yeah, indeed it is. So they forced in again here. They've got 2 Galils, an AK, a couple of pistols, but rigoN already off to the races with 1. Should get traded back. It was sloppy, but juanflatroo got the damage done.
Ooh, timeline where I'm thinking maybe he does actually hit the turn and burn. Talking of burning, getting hot for Juan. As his toes are set on fire. And ERSIN cools him off with a spray from the M4. GX back in for the backstab. Sees the opportunity to strike onto ERSIN at least. So all things considered, what they went into this round with, you've now brought it down to a very winnable 2v2 where both of you are armed.
There's a lot of time on the clock as well, so they don't even have to necessarily force their way through on the smoke. They've decided that's the best course of action with these 2 AWPs in play. Zello switches to the USP. Ooh, nearly catches him on the side, but Sound from the side is now struck in from jungle and gets 2. 2 quick fire kills. And Nexus with 2 rounds on top of it.
And from only having the 1 AWP, they're back to 2 again. And Sound, he was all about the rifle. He was sick on pistol rounds. He was really good with rifles. You'd see this guy going in to cause issues on the T side for Nexus. He's kind of the point man. He'll always take those fights. We hadn't seen him use the AWP once, but into this matchup, he's showing that he's very multi-talented with the different weapons.
Just resurrected his teammate as well. He looked like he was just done in the back of his chair like, oh, guys, oh, you won. Brilliant. Right, we're in this game again.
Oh, mate.
Wonderful.
It's like the that rap video, but just bring him back from the dead, Vince.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what it'll do for you because they know they've reset the economy. rigoN, the Eagles, man. Nexus, though, are laying down the authority through middle, shutting out the T's. But rigoN is still alive. 10 kills, by the way, he's picked up so far. He's been having a very solid first half. Can he add to that tally? No. The emphatic answer by BTN's M4.
So building an opportunity back into the game already then. keeping it close, and now away from potentially making it a balanced affair with either team having 4 rounds to work with. And this is where we finally see that influence of Devil Walk as well. You can see so vocal, animated as well with the way that he communicates these points. Very articulate. He's someone that understands the game but can explain it to you in a way that makes sense instantly when you've only got a few seconds. And of course, that's one of the harder parts of being a coach. You don't have very long to chime in, right? You've got to articulate all those points in a very small amount of time. And everyone's eyes darting to Devil Walk there and realizing, okay, focus up, back into it.
It's a really good point, man. It's a very important skill set. Knowing how to win a round, knowing what should be done is one thing. Being able to convey that to others in a way that they understand is an entirely different ball game altogether. So having that rapid response is super important. Knowing that Guild Eagles already off to a decent start in this half, they could extend their lead. They're still in with a real shot of a solid 5, 6, 7 rounds here on Mirage. It's a map that both teams play. We know that both teams are very solid on both sides. So it's as close as we were expecting, but underpass control now being gained. And meanwhile, a set play on A again. They've been going back to this formula over and over.
rigoN trying to line up the nade to break the smoke back towards CT. Meanwhile, supported by GX's spam. Ooh, window control though, well that exchanges hands. ERSIN still deflects the head of rigoN, buys a bit of time for the CTs, but the site control itself is quite quickly falling in favor of the Eagles, and it continues. Zello comes over with a scope, snipes back onto one and changes to the M4 to support his teammate.
juanflatroo has a great angle here, but he is very low. One bullet and he's dead, tries to find that window of opportunity and strikes. A kill from that position, huge. He now knows exactly where Sound is. He lands another AWP shot, trading to the M4. Moving that sideways. Angle as well of jungle, and that wide swing from Synopsy. Perfectly timed, perfectly executed. Love the retro glasses as well, man. Reminds me of like the 80s or something. You imagine those with shades, they look banging.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, they've got the drip. They've got the drip down. A well-organized unit. And we knew this one was going to actually be probably one of the closer of the two. When you look at the two maps that really seem like there could be a bit of a bloodbath between these two teams, it starts here on Mirage, sort of level pegging in terms of the opposition they face. They're both pretty confident on it. And then you get Ancient at the tail end if we make it to a third map as well. It's Vertigo that could be a little bit more interesting in terms of some of the dynamics. But Nexus, they've been fighting fire in a lot of these rounds and answering to the call. Early on into the 9th though, the utility will ruin Sound towards underpass.
Just see the flash and then just full white. The surface of the sun descends for a couple of moments. Ooh. That one tap from rigoN. Sound was already low from the HE. It's overkill, but it's a beautiful look to this round for rigoN, who's got 3 and a 4th as well for rigoN. That's an outrageous round. Puts it in his pocket and runs away with it.
Oh, mate. If you had a little checklist, which is rig off or rig on, they've just ticked the on mark. That was gross. That's really gross, man. Wow, okay. Those are the sort of shots you want to hit. That's going to wake you up and get you into things. He's giving it as well. You think about the KD this guy's got over the amount of rounds we've seen. He's coming out swinging right now. Oh, yeah. There's the pop-off.
Completely justified as well. And what did we say about Guild Eagles, man? Like, they are a team that live and thrive on momentum, on hype. juanflatroo, not quite as clean as rigoN. Still the same outcome, though. Nice attempt for the Zeus, just a little bit too far away. Range not yielding the kill. And although ERSIN survives, it's with his kneecaps blown out, flashing for double peak and double kill, making a triple. Zilla with 2 and ERSIN chips in with one of his own. And Guild Eagles now find themselves a player behind.
Oh, it's all going a bit skew-if as well. Senery getting a bit paranoid about the jump out from his teammate, spams off a few warning shots, but they quickly realise the situation they're in and go for the boost up. rigoN wants to carry on with the success he had in the past round, but there is a flank developing towards top mid. Masking the noise on the drop down with the AK shot. Zello hitting some huge connections with that deagle. BTN's lying in wait towards window. A lot of small moments could make a big difference in this round.
rigoN with another one. May not anticipate BTN's position. Tight right near the murder hole. 40 seconds left. Still need to pick up this bomb, retrieve it, and try and find sanctuary. Molotovs, making sure underpass has no one there. rigoN does check his angles, does look and find prey. And Seneri puts this round to bed. A flurry of frags in connector though, 2 rounds back to back. 7-3 the score.
We get to see it from his POV as well. Saying Zello to everyone at middle and saying bye-bye as he pulls the trigger. Nexus, weaponry to work with again though. Scopes pulled back out, just the one this time in the hands of Zello. And look at his positioning. All right, confidence is starting to build up. Goes for the heads-up play to push in Palace, see if he can get a read and an opening frag. No success. Backs off and ERSIN is slain towards close ramp.
The issue here though, Jackie, is that although Nexus are getting kills and they're making some really nice plays happen, they're not making the most of these opportunities. This round may be different though, as raga hiding in the smoke may get an opportunity sooner rather than later. juanflatroo's at the top of that position right now, so it's a 1-for-1 trade. But there's the secondary unit. Sound shows himself through on short. Drops the bomb down, and GXX now, he's had a bit of a slow game, has a minute to try and carve a path between these 2 remaining Romanian players.
The bomb cold on the ground. Makes his move back up to collect it. And as time begins to tick away, focuses in on the important point, making his move up towards the site. Zello's deep in CT. He's walking out towards triple. They see each other. And Zello strikes first. Around they convert this time, as they will get themselves to 4.
Guild Eagles, what do we go for next? It seems like when the going gets tough, they hit A. That seems to be their default strategy, so I'm curious if we'll see another set play come out onto the A side. They do have the utility for it, but it's not going to be the case. Instead, they're rushing over onto the B side. They, of course, can rummage down underpass if they decide to try a crunch onto the A site via connector. But early flashes and smokes being deployed already. Sound hiding on the balcony. They have mid-control as well, Jackie. This feels a little bit rough for Guild Eagles at this point. They've put all of their eggs in this B basket, and Seneri's just going to charge straight out with the Tech 9.
Zello, he seems to know there's another player that has pushed his way out through the underpass. It's rigoN though. Oh, the Fire Serpent. It can strike like a Viper. It tries to hit 2. Will clean up on a follow-up as well as BTN goes down. Seneri falls, and the SMG, well, that will get some success at mid, bleeding back into a 2 versus 2. It's a hell of a rotate though, and the bomb is on the back of GX. He makes his move over towards A, arriving now. And the last 2 for Nexus, raga and Sound. Sound's holding. He's got a crossover, but they'll plant. It's a safe location, so raga's flank being a big point now.
HE tossed in. They do very minimal damage, but raga is making moves into Palace. GXX may be called upon yet. Problem is for raga, he's so low HP that he needs Sound to do something to tee him up. The alley-oop for the slam dunk, perhaps. Now moving in, time is of the essence. raga will pierce in first. The spray from GXX, good for 1. And the second as well onto a weakened raga. 8-4 the first half score on the side of Guild Eagles, on that T side of Mirage. Solid half.
Yeah, a lot of spooky ones, a lot of crazy plays. The Eagle work was good for the CT side of Nexus. But the meat of the rounds being taken by Guild. You see the communication again here as well. Taking a few seconds to get those points across before the start of the second half. A pistol round But if Nexus are able to find some footing into, you could now bridge yourself back into the game a little bit. It's not that far out of hand. 4 rounds is manageable.
Definitely, but it's this man, isn't it?
Yeah.
rigoN. I think he ends on 20 kills in the first half, which is just absurd. So many multi-kill rounds, so many rounds where he just comes out of nowhere and just lays down the law. 20 and 9. That is an outrageous half of Counter-Strike. But is he going to be able to rinse and repeat on the CT side? He was finding a lot of windows, a lot of opportunities, a lot of gaps in the defense. When he's having to be a little bit more defensively minded, are we going to see rigoN still deliver? Nexus need this pistol, as you said. If they win it, they're right back into this one. But Synopsy, perched on the back of the site, is waiting. juanflatroo onto Sandwich, tries to devour them in kind, but at 4 kills in a second, we'll see Guild Eagles in real trouble.
The wings have been clipped into the second half pistol. Bomb going down now as well. Oh, Zello with a P250. That's a banging shot. Straight to the face. And that's the opportunity. That's them seizing the day now in a position where if you lose that pistol, suddenly everything starts to quickly unravel. It feels like it goes wrong. Now you have a path back into the game, of course.
That was ERSIN saying bravo. Bravo indeed. Great round on Nexus. Guild Eagles, you're always on Julie watch, Jackie. Well, we have one of them. And of course, it's in the hands of who else but rigoN.
He's a mean machine with the deagle. But he can do a ton of work with the dualies as well. And you like to see the heads-up play, at least, from Guild. Obviously, you're not going to win this out playing it like a rifle round. You've got to do something a little bit more creative. They clear out towards the ramp early. If there's anyone lurking there, maybe 1 or 2 frags go your way. Hopefully, you don't run into the crosshairs of that MAC-10, though, and give a whole load of additional money over to that T side. They find the first pick, and they gain themselves access to B, but there's a bit of bombardment back. The bullets connect, and they look to push out through the elbow. Back by the Molotov now, but it's Dink City.
Yeah, unfortunately, all those dinks are from the USPs, and the Julies have just been rattled. Fragmented from the HE. 1 casualty onto the Nexus. They'll be fine with that. They didn't actually manage to trade up to that rifle, so I believe 1 Gilil was lost in the process, but it's not the end of the world. Guild Eagles in the meanwhile, though, will be bouncing straight back with their buy, and I did just catch a glimmer of an AWP in play.
And although the story is obviously the whole team gets activated on LAN, for GX especially, I feel like he really does come alive when he's in these environments. This is where you want him at his best. And he can blow so many of these teammates away with the AWP. Tries to defend towards middle early on. Classic site take, bit of a gap in the smoke towards connector, but they don't need to see you. They'll just spam straight on through. Sound. Oh, hitting one. Synopsy replies back onto ERSIN, but they've got the bomb site.
Not planned just yet, but it will be getting forced down now from Zello. And yeah, that gap in the smoke has actually afforded 2 kills on the side of Guild Eagles. It may not end up costing them round, but that is a little piece that could come back to haunt them in future. Synopsy, though, meanwhile, pushes through that smoke and gets one, but Raga doubles up from CT boxes. GXX, nice flick to the head. The execution comes through fast, and Zello gets winged on the approach on the firebox. Tries to stand and deliver, but can't get it done. But neither can the CTs, they didn't have a kit.
Oh no. No kit, no defuse, no round. And Nexus make it to 7. Zello's survival making the difference as time was burnt down. All right. One that you'll be taking to the bank then. Couple of opportunities on that where it looked like Guild had their number with the small mistakes. GX at least keeps the AWP in fruition, so you can maintain that into the following rounds, but that's of course just supporting the only other saved weapon, the M4 that's in the hands of juanflatroo. Everyone else with mere pistols to play with. Whereas Nexus looking good right now. Seems like they're playing off the spawn as well, as they've given Raga the AWP to take the fight to middle, and he instantly strikes.
Just has a quick wink as Zello drops the AWP to him. That's how it's done, mate. It's always lovely when you got multiple players on the team that can opt with the AWP and actually have success with it early on, play off those spawns. Really cool play. And just as Guild Eagles are trying to stabilize themselves a little bit, juanflatroo though putting that M4 to use. One of those 2 save weapons. And so Nexus, they may be feeling pretty confident right about now how this half has started, but they can't afford to lose focus. Even for a second, they'll get punished. BTN catching a glimpse, but he will get smoked off.
5-7 singing, but not delivering. Seneri back towards triple. At least a little bit of damage inflicted, softened them up and allowed juanflatroo to swing for 2. But GX so far back, isolated on short, re-smoke in connector as well, so his vision isn't going to open up anytime soon. He's got to close the gap, and Zello's on a back towards triple. A little bit of a window here. There might actually be a pathway for him in. He's playing with confidence. The body language looking good. Gets up all the way on top of stairs. Quick dip down as well. Dodges the flashbang over the top. Fires off the warning shot, and now his position's compromised.
Knows where the player is. The unfortunate part is he can't line up that shot. The body in his eyes as well, he can't quite see past. And that nade, so much damage. Yeah. As soon as he took that first shot, speculative through the boxes, that pretty much was the final nail in the coffin. 8-8 the score, 4 unanswered T rounds now on the side of Nexus. The Romanians going from strength to strength. A confidence building with each passing moment, and this is the play. That's a good shot as well from Raga.
Ooh. Man, Zello's actually playing kind of lights out right now. It's pretty sick to see how he's come alive. You know, that was one of the big talking points we were delivering, saying that he didn't really have as much impact as we expect from him into the first day, whereas online, he really was able to constantly cause issues into these rounds. Great on T-side, great on CT with the AWP. It was Sound that was having to do so much more. Whereas at the minute, everyone feels like they're stepping up to the plate. They know what's on the line here. They're getting some big rounds, a lot of impact as well.
These are the kind of moments as well where coaches are worth their weight in gold. So Devil Walk is going to need to have a chat with Guild Eagles and try and course correct. These last 4 rounds have been far from ideal for them. rigoN came into this half with 20. He's still on 20. 4 rounds without any kills. Definitely been a piece of the puzzle that's been missing. But they're going to get aggressive underground. 2-player buddy system with the AWP and M4.
Nade over the top. BTN. Losing a bit of health. But still in position. As he takes a bit of mid-control away, getting himself out towards top mid. You can flash peek from it, see if anyone's still lurking around from the CT side. Playing a lot more in the choke points this time in the way they've set themselves up for it. Hoping that if anyone walks into underpass, that's the spider's nest, you can strike. Oh, GX even looking for the peek up as well with that AWP.
Yeah, this underpass control is multifaceted. They've really invested a lot in terms of their manpower and attention over on this side. Really nice setup. They've got Seneri on short, Synopsy in connector, 2 players in underpass for a fast rotation. One of the main counter plays to this would be a straight up A execute. Instead, they're going in for the push. rigoN watching as his teammates fall around him, and they may have heard the shots coming from bench. Meanwhile, Raga is watching for this. rigoN with 1, but that's all he can get. They put so much into this mid-control, and it completely backfires.
Really uncharacteristic of rigoN there as well. It's one of those where normally, you know, he's good for at least 2 in that sort of position, especially with the timing that he's kind of set up for. Able to find the 1 frag, a little bit of tickle damage, but nothing more. And Nexus, you go from feeling like you've been on the back foot, we've had some close rounds, we've almost been there, to now you actually have control of the game. You're 1 round up, you're going to be sat with 9 on the scoreboard. And sometimes that mentality, well, that can do so much more for you. When you're looking up towards the top of your screen now, you're thinking, all right, boys, we're in the lead. We can build off the back of this. We can keep it going. We're hitting some 6 shots right now. GX at least does keep the AWP in play, but obviously it's got to do a whole lot more.
Big respect to Nexus, man.
Yeah.
Coming to this, Zello was not feeling 100%. They started really slowly. They were up against it come the second half, but they've stood and they've withstood all of this pressure that's been applied by Guild Eagles. Now they find themselves in the lead. Guild Eagles into a really poor buy into this round.
Aggressive positions, playing to the strength of the pistols at least. Pre-scoped though for Zello, so he's pushed up tight on Palace. Laser focused on a face out towards jungle. Meanwhile, some jumping peaks, baiting the face. Seneri doesn't want to overextend. That 5-7 can inflict so much damage. He doesn't know Zello's here though. Hasn't been given that audio cue. Meanwhile, to walk up, oh, sound might draw their attention. Needs to be a repeak. Seneri's got to walk on in now. Nutmegs him. Bullet straight between the legs. Seneri hits one with a 5-7. We're down to the 4v4.
I have no idea how that missed. That must have gone like literally a millimeter away from connecting on some pixel of Seneri. Dances his way and moonwalks in. And in doing so, Nexus now have all control over B site. Already ERSIN out there on bench, watching for his teammate to plant. Guild Eagles absorbing a lot of pressure early doors here on this CT side, and they decide they're going to actually play together as 4. These are the kind of audacious plays that a lot of teams would not go for. They have a buy coming into the next round, but it's a case of being able to bolster up with 2 AWPs, for example. This is a lot of investment, a lot of value that they could potentially be losing. And you're trying to retake with 2 AWPs in this situation. This is madness on paper, but they at least get some success to kick things off, and now the noose is tightened. The guillotine comes down. There will be no stay of execution. Guild Eagles get massacred.
A risky retake that does not spell victory for them. So much thrown into that as well, right? Everything you could have potentially held on to. Of course, the round being the real hot commodity right now, and knowing that Nexus are getting closer and closer towards that match point. They go for the crazy maneuvers. Doesn't pay off though. A lot of money going to be spent. Sound absolutely erupting as well. And damn right, you're now in a position where you're feeling like, right, things are really working out for us at this point. Everyone's hitting their shots. Sound's having a great game. 21 frags to his name. Zello as well, finding impact when he needs it. Guild Eagles, they go for the reinvestment. The weapons are there. Nade set goes up to buy time on the back of the bomb site. He's got himself into a good position. Synopsy could strike. Hits the head of Raga. Slays the first. Knows where they are, but he's being tagged up. Slowed down. Sound on the response.
Sound not using that smoke as a sanctuary. 9 bullets in the magazine as they tickle a bomb, try and draw out some of these CTs because they know that they have the snake in the grass of ERSIN. And that venom is potent. No post-plant though. Not afforded that luxury as it stands just yet. But all the CTs are clumped up on the CT box. Seneri's gonna try and pay the toll, but it's the Reaper of BTN that comes through first, a secondary unit in play. They weren't anticipating 2 from there. They're certainly not thinking about 3. juanflatroo now snaps up. He's snatched the life away of ERSIN. Zello missing a shot, gets punished by GXX. And Guild Eagles snatched this round away. It was such a strange, unorthodox situation though. 3 plays through CT, nobody jungle, nobody connector, and Nexus had no idea.
Skin of their teeth on that one. Peeking from the same position time and time again, keeping them guessing. It works out. Money's still in play. You can afford yourself some AKs on display at least going into the next. Guild only trailing by 1 round. Their economy is fickle. They can still be broken. They're showing that they bleed at the minute.
Mate, this is like one of those boxing matches where both teams have only offense and no defense at all. They're just tanking haymakers to the head, and it's whoever has the stronger chin is going to prevail in this game. It's not been pretty. It's not been the most technically gifted game, but my God, has it been entertaining. Both teams battered and bruised and bloody, but still in with a fight, still in with a chance.
Potentially a B contact play then being called for Nexus. Didn't step in the fire. No audio cue. The flames won't give away the sound to alert Guild Eagles of the initial push early on. And ERSIN's been gifted that AK, so it's all on him for the hero play. Obviously, if he falls, next in line can grab it. That's the jump spot, that's contact. Now you need to burst. The nade slows them down. Huge response there from Guild to at least buy time.
Yeah, big kill from Seneri. It allows juanflatroo to also change up his angle for a better crossfire. Oh, and they spam through the wooden panels. There is no escape for Raga. 2 kills, a repelled, a botched push. But they're standing in position. They know they've completely given up all map control. They have to push forward, Jackie. Unfortunately, there's multiple machine guns staring them down.
Grab the AK on the cross. Zello completes the recovery mission, and now they begin to back off. They wanted that weapon to give them some kind of tool to reopen the round. The crowbar. Oh, and it's gifted to the right player as well. But rigoN, he's got their number. Flanking up, walks on in, cleaves his way through one as he slices the head of BTN. With 30 seconds, they turn again, making their move back towards B. Seneri has the advanced angle and could spot them early. Smart decision. He's got backup from short, 2 players there. juanflatroo's now moved in. Seneri doesn't really get much out of this round in terms of damage or kills, but he was the linchpin, spotting the players, falling back, allowing them the best chance of not just getting the round, Jackie, but getting it done clean, not losing more players, building up the money. Very, very important moment there. 10-10 the scoreline. Could not be any closer. And the nade set makes a world of difference. The spacing on it, the first player going in, as soon as they got contact, yeah, he bypasses the nade, but everyone else eats the damage from it. And it slows you down so much from the tagging from the HE that they had to bail out on the idea of going for the quick B take. Into the next, though, you're thinking rigoN's ready to rock and roll towards underpass, but BTN claps back. The AK hits a nice shot. Seneri taking the advanced angle. He wants to peek into it. Timing on a jump up.
You know, you discussed before about that switch, Jackie. I think rig off is now on the server. It's juanflatroo that's really seriously magnified his performance tenfold. He was having a slow first half, 22 kills. rigoN's got 2 kills in the last 6 or so rounds. Very rough times for him, but there are more than one moving part in this Guild Eagles roster, which has always been the case. They win together, they lose together, they push together. And right now in a 4-on-4, they've got to try and repel this push with 50 seconds left on the clock.
Sandwich for Synopsy. CT face for GX. Ooh, moving and spamming. The backstab from Sandwich pays off as the SMG hits one. The upgrade onto AK works well, but Zello, in a 1v2, tries to make his move back out. Head knocked off his shoulders. Guild Eagles again back into the lead as they find themselves on 11. So many of these rounds there going down to these 1v2s where it feels like it honestly is a bit of a coin flip in terms of who's going to close it.
Thing is though, man, juanflatroo always seems to be on spot, where he's required, where he's needed. 2 kills here, 2 kills there. In these clutches is always bringing down the adversaries to 1 or 2 players bare minimum. 11-10 the score now. And Nexus onto a half buy. And it doesn't feel like it was just a few moments ago when Nexus had like a 10-8 lead. It looked like they were catapulting themselves towards the finish line.
You hit that roadblock and all the momentum you'd built up quickly disappears. Everyone's a lot more alive now as well. You can see how much more vocal they are and bouncing the ideas off each other. This is where Guild are more playing to the strengths that they have. For Nexus, it's pretty much just a deco going into this round as well with the supporting nades. They've been hitting some blinding shots with the Deagles, but doing it against the full investment from Guild, well, that's a different story. You're on that T side now, so you need to create the openers for yourself.
Middle control pretty much vacated on the side of Guild Eagles. They're stacking 3 players early doors onto A. Double smokes down. That's going to keep GXX interested, but he's actually behind the wall of smokes now. And there is the firebox position from rigoN as he's being forced in from multiple angles, but Synopsy has his back covered. Not before he gets splattered by the Deagle, and Zello goes in for 2. A low rigoN tanks that last bullet in the magazine. but it doesn't stop the rot. It's 12-10, Jackie, and out of nowhere, Guild Eagles now have a chance at a map point.
Important series as well. If you're joining us, you're watching an elimination game here. So if things go wrong, if it slips away from you, your chance at the major can be ripped away. For Guild, of course, it's to maintain the streak time and time again. Even when the odds are against them, no matter what the opposition is, they rise to the occasion, have made those runs to the major so many times on the spin now. And Devil looked a lot calmer as well. We're cutting to the player cams there. You can see, you know, more of a smirk, looking a lot more like things are back in the position you'd want. It's not over till it's over though, Vince.
Wait, is that round when they tried to retake with 4 players and 2 AWPs? Where I bet Devilwart was pulling his hair out. Like, guys, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But it's worked out for them. The next round they bounce back with authority. rigoN now up to 24 as well. Nexus have 2 map points to try and save. This, of course, was the choice of Guild Eagles, and GXX opens up his account. Could be for the last time. On to Raga. They have got some Palace, though. And if Sounds is feeling it, and we know he's an aggressive player, he can make the most of this position.
So much free info and a lot of chip damage as well. And if they're peeking up into it, it should be a freebie. GX only with a tag. At least recovers on the Deagle. Sound, he needs to back up the boys towards mid. It's labored, but they're still getting the kills, and now it's all on him. Outnumbered, outgunned, spraying, but not going to be able to do it. Guild recover, and they do find the win on the opening map.
That is going to feel like a very sweet victory if you are Guild Eagles. They started in fine fashion, then they had a really rough start of it in the second half. It looked like Nexus would even just pull away and out.